there! Welcome to Modern Homemakers. I'm Jokina, and today I'm going to show you how I painted these counters. Stick around to the end and I will show you how they held up, like real close-up nitty-gritty stuff after 10 months. And we do a lot of cooking in here, so anyway, you want to see that. Yeah, let's get started. I got everything off of the countertops and I cleaned them and scrubbed them with a degreaser, and I removed some caulking like around the sink that was poking out in the back there, and I scrubbed with a sponge along the edges. I am not going to remove the sink, I'm sure that would be a better job, but I have cleaned them all off and I'm going to sand them next just to get the surface scuffed up. I am so excited that it's finally countertop day. So I have taped off with plastic and painter's tape any area that could be affected by painting the counter, even though I'm not done with my final coats on the cabinets. This is all kind of like inner workings. I used some trash bags over here because I didn't feel like using a whole nother drop cloth. I actually cut the drop cloth to get around these cabinets, so I used way less in here than it would have required. I don't like using plastic, it makes me feel bad. Okay, and then over here, I did around the sink, and then once again had to crawl up into this beautiful but hard to reach space to tape it off. So now I have, let me show you exactly what it's called. I'm using Kills 2. It's an all-purpose primer, and it does really well with stains and stuff. So this is what I'm going to prime the counters with. I have rollers and stuff, but I'm going to start with just using a brush. Since I'm doing the sponge technique, I just really don't think when all is said and done that you'll be able to see brush strokes. So I'm really going to focus on getting in every nook and cranny, like where the separation has started to occur between the side pieces, and just trying to do kind of like when you paint wood, long, smooth strokes. And I'm going to do all my counters in here, including the sides. Starting the second coat, so this is first coat, and that is second. Nothing like starting over again. At least everything was still, I guess, taped off. There's something that I didn't have to redo. Anyway, I used the wrong paint to do my sponging, so even though it was beautiful, I had to sand it down, and I've put on 2 coats of primer at this point. That really hurt to start over again. I've let my 2 coats of Kills dry, and I'm coming in with this Glidden. I have it tinted to what my walls are here. It's called windswept. Anyway, I'm just gonna come in and do a coat of this over everything. I am mixing up, I'm gonna have a plain white, which is the white color. These are actually just liners, but I was using a paper bowl with a plastic bag in it, so this just supposed to be a liner is a massive upgrade for me. This thing looks blue to me, but I'm going out on a limb because I read reviews that it starts off looking blue and then it dries black. So I'm gonna have just some plain black. Probably way more than I need of any of these colors, but I'm doing a desk, an island, and a big stretch of countertops, and I can't like repeat colors. I want to make a darker gray and a lighter gray. think I have distinct enough. That's a dark gray, a light gray, and the black and white. I've got a sponge and a plate to dab on, and I'm just gonna go in and every once in a while get some more paint on here and just no rhyme or reason. Some are bigger, some are more splotchy. Keep hitting stuff on the side here, so I might as well just go for it. And I'm gonna go over the whole area and then we'll switch colors. This is what it looks like after the one coat of the dark gray has dried. Now I'm coming in with a different piece of sponge, and this is my straight up black color that looks blue, but hopefully will dry black. And I'm just gonna hit in different spots and go all over. I'm having a hard time in my corners back here, so I'm just kind of getting in there and forcing it in. It's not pretty, but hopefully it'll layer up right, because it's just not getting in there. This is what it looks like after the second coat with the black. I'm gonna come in with the new sponge and do the light gray. I'm taking the polycrylic, and this is the fun part. I'm gonna pour just a little bit. Oh, I'm getting better at that. I was pouring like 10 times that amount to begin with. And I'm just brushing it everywhere. All the corners, edges. And when I get done with the section, I like look at it, and I'm looking for areas like this where it still looks like bluish. And I'm also looking for areas that look dry, like I've missed them. And I just keep spreading this out till it disappears. And my husband, who installed a light fixture on here, had some dust there, so that's not cool. Guess I should have wiped these down again. But look at my new outlet, isn't it pretty? Okay, that's the gist. I've got a little bit of hand soap, nothing fancy, and I'm just kind of squeezing it on. Can't like be aggressive with washing this, but every coat that I'm doing, just kind of squeezing out. And I have more of these, so if it doesn't make it through the whole process, but it made it through 2 coats. You have to decide if that's worth it $1 to you or not. And then I'm going to lay it on my painting blanket to dry and wait another 2 hours. I have done 3 coats of the polycrylic, and I decided to stop because I'm running out of it and I just don't feel like doing it anymore. So I'm just going to let this dry. I don't know how many days I'm gonna go before I let anyone set anything on this. I have to go research that. Okay, so I'm gonna start my close-up tour over here to the left of the sink. And let's see here. This right here was staining. Someone left a bag of compost that had coffee grounds in it. So that was unpleasant for me. So if you can see, that does not come off that darker color there. So that was annoying. This is a mystery that no one would fess up, you know, Quart of the kids. So you see this big gouge here? There's another one here. That was like the first thing that they did, and no one would fess up. But that was months ago, and I really thought that the paint would start to instantly pull away. But it has held up pretty well in spite of that. So that is, you can see my hand there. So that's a pretty decent gouge. It's like 1 inch long, and a little over that and pretty deep. So that was a damage. This around the sink, I mean, we cook 3 meals a day pretty much in here, and my children do the cleaning, so there's water everywhere. So if you look, a lot of this is me just needing to clean up and reseal probably, but there's yellowing around the sink. Excuse the dishes. I just picked a halfway decent kitchen that one of the kids did to get in here. This, I would say, is the most damage is around the sink. So you can see, you know, water gets splashed back here, and it's just not pretty. Over here to the side, it is even cracked a little where I painted between the two. I honestly think that I could run some white caulk in there and wipe off most of it, and then that would look good again. Speaking of caulk, I had done that in the edgings, and with the season changes, that like pulled away both there and here. So, but that's not really the fault of the countertops. That's like the shifting of the season, so I would need to fix that. This is a stain from, not coffee, this was carrot juice. It's like all the little memories. So you can see when you get further away, those things aren't very noticeable. They just bother me, and I'm trying to give you full disclosure. So all of those things that are bothering me. Nothing has happened back there, probably because it's always covered with dishes drying, and I just don't have it in me to move something that doesn't need to be moved. And this is the last section of countertop by the stove, and I'll get in here. We'll get in down and dirty and personal. All the sides have held up well on all the countertops, but if you look really close here, I don't know if this was an imperfection from me. This happened, I felt like, pretty early on, so I think I had too much clear, like, epoxy on the side, and it kind of discolored like that. And this was the most recent damage. This was actually a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to get really close here. So you see, there is right here, let's see if I had the camera in the right spot, see that big gouge? There's that in here, and that was actually my husband put a casserole dish on the stove and turned on a burner. He's actually done this twice. There's a lot going on with 5 kids. Anyway, it exploded and got glass everywhere, and he was taking a rag, so glass chunks, rag, and going like this, and I was like trying to stop it before it happened, but I was too late. So here's another big chunk of it. So that is really sad, and took off big chunks of paint. So, but based on the other counter, I think it will hold up sometime. These were never meant to be forever, and I would do them again. Let's see here. And then this is either tomato or curry. See how it's like yellowish, and more coffee. So, but none of these things are like instantly like drawing you in is a problem. And for a $50 fix, heck yeah. I think if I were to do this again, I would do a darker. I wanted to have more of a contrast anyway, and I was voted down. I wanted to do heavier on the black and gray sphere, and the white being the accent. So I think if I do these again, which I would wait much longer for these to have more than just a few nicks and dings and stains, but I just wanted to have full disclosure. So that is, let's see here, we did these in July and it's May, so there you go, 10-ish months, probably closer to 11 because we're halfway past that point. But there's the how they are that much later, and definitely worth doing again. It's even the worst thing, they were just so ugly before. I'll give you a quick reminder of that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you are planning on doing something like this yourself, and how it goes. Very curious. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and check out these other videos if you're interested.